another tough one, second straight conference game that basically comes down to a 2-point conversion. You guys come up a little short, 26-24. Just give me your impressions on the game.
I think they came out exactly as what we thought. They were a big physical football team. They're going to win some games this year. I thought the freshman quarterback they had made plays when he needed to. We got caught with a little bit of we gave up a touchdown when we got caught with what we thought was a substitution, but it turned out not to be. Quarterback for them was very aware of it and threw the easy touchdown. You hate to give up something like that for that to be a difference in the ball game, but they're Towson is as advertised. Like I said, they're big, physical, strong, fast. I thought we held with them. I think it was a game that was going to go down to the end. We figured it was going to go down to the end. But at the end of the day, we're not playing horseshoes here. We have to start winning these things.
Down 23-9 in the fourth quarter, you guys really made a nice comeback in the final quarter. What changed in your mind over those last 15 minutes?
I think these kids, where I really do love this football team, is these kids will continue to fight you all 4 quarters. And, if you look at our season from the beginning until now, we've made it, unfortunately, too much of a habit of coming from behind in the second half to make these ball games and win some ball games like we did against UMass and Campbell, and now this game here. I'd like for us to get out a little bit ahead a little bit earlier, but I tip my hat to our guys when it comes to their fight and their competitive nature. Like I said, we just have to get those answers a little bit earlier.
I know you said it's not horseshoes, but how frustrating. Again, you're in 2 games that basically decided on 2-point conversions, and even going back to New Mexico State, that was a game in the fourth quarter you guys were right in. You obviously have made huge strides this season, but how frustrating is it to have come up short in those 3?
In 2-point conversion games, I'm 1-6 in overtime games. So I've learned that I got to be a better coach. I gotta find a way to have us execute more in those situations. But when it comes down to it, it's luck of the draw, whatever it is right now. We're competing, and like I said, that to me is the most important piece. We have to, not to be cliche, we have to find those 2 plays a game. We have to find those 2 other plays out of the 170 or so, 160 or so that we play, that's got to go our way.
Offensively, certainly a big afternoon from Elijah Elliott. 19 carries for 100 yards, a couple of touchdowns, also 30 receiving yards, and the touchdown. Just talk about the afternoon that he had for you.
Elijah it was great to see him have success. We've known what we've had since he came to us in January. He is just first off, he's a first-class kid. And I think that resonated with his teammates immediately. He was elected after 7-8 months as a team captain based off of his work ethic and just the type of kid that he is. So it doesn't surprise me that he's having the success that he's having. Was really happy to see him run the ball well as he did. And of course, the offensive line creating those opportunities for him up front, given the size and the physicality of their front. I was very happy to see that.
How did he and Dylan work together, and what differences are they as backs?
Sure. Well, I mean, Elijah's more of a scat, quicker type guy. He's going to be electric with his cuts, a little bit more of a threat out of the backfield when it comes to catching the football. Dylan's 220 pounds of 4.4 speed. When he hits a lane and goes, he's hard to catch up with, and I think they complement each other very well. They're just different, both very good backs, just different skill sets.
Defensively, certainly a big day from Lonnie Rice, 12 tackles and a tackle for loss, and maybe the play, the safety when you had him down at the 1-yard line that got you back to 23-18. Just talk about his performance and then how big that play in general was.
Sure. I mean, we needed a spark at that time. It started with the turnover, started with the flipping of the field by the punter. getting the ball down there. And, we wanted to keep them pinned, obviously. And we kind of had a key on what was going to happen there. And we didn't hesitate. I think that was the key down there on that play is the guys didn't hesitate. We didn't play softly. They went after the safety and got it right away. And Lonnie's a passionate dude now. He plays with a lot of fire and energy. Sometimes we got to kind of contain it a little bit, but there's one thing he'll do is when he goes, and that was big on that stop.
Defensively, you guys gave up some yards, but one of the things that I'm assuming that you were pleased with was your ability to keep them out of the end zone. They take they ended up 4 field goals, but 3 of them really short field goals. What were you guys able to do there, and how big was that, making them take 3s instead of 7s?
Sure. Bend but don't break. I think that we did a pretty good job in limiting explosives throughout the game. I think they only had 3. But the key for us was to bend and not break. We wanted the freshman quarterback to beat us. If you're going to beat us with the freshman quarterback, and Andrew played well for them. We recruited Andrew out of high school, so I know him well. But I was, like I said, happy that we didn't give up the big long touchdown passes and those types of things. And if we're going to have success, that's what our defense has to do.
Let's look ahead to Saturday. You guys back at home to face a Maine team that is coming off its first one of the season last week. As you've started taking an early look at them, what are some of the challenges that they present?
Well, they're another blue blood CAA team back to back. They're a founding member and they've been in this conference for a long time. We know that we're going to get their best swing. They looked really good on film last week. They put up a lot of points. They moved the football. They ran the ball very well. I think they're finding out what they're good at and they're doing it. And defensively, they're going to give us some challenges up front with the multiplicity of their fronts they're like I said, they're a good. There are no dogs in this conference, and they are another good, solid CAA team that we're going to have to perform at a high level to compete with and have a shot at the end.
You go from facing a freshman quarterback to a 5th-year guy, and Carter Peavy is what makes him so difficult to defend.
He gets the ball out quickly. I think when you watch him play. He doesn't hold on the ball. Very rarely does he make poor decisions. He throws very catchable balls, and a lot of times on his 3rd step in his drops, that ball is out, and usually the guy's open. Receivers, I think they do a really good job. I think he identifies coverages a lot quicker than a younger quarterback would, and anticipates very well and gets the ball out quickly.
And then as you touched on, they've kind of started to lean on the running game this season, since they're Baines being the top back, but they've got a bunch of them back there. Is that kind of the key to your success, is slowing that part of their game down?
Yeah, obviously, I think they also have a good corral of different type of backs, but they're all very effective. I don't know the names as well as I do the jersey numbers, but 324 is electric. What impresses me about them is they'll hit a crease that's 6 inches wide and make a big play out of it. And we're going to have to be very gap sound on how we fit. And again, we're facing another good sizable CAA offensive line. We're going to have to hold our ground.
All right, Chris, thanks as always for the time this morning, and I look forward to talking again next week.